First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista. Hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And we thank SSVEC for having us on the air, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
We'll start with a happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everyone. It's amazing the bunnies come in so soon. It seems like we got a couple of weeks left, but no, it's Easter Sunday. It just doesn't seem like we're here yet.
And we're going to throw the weather part in here because it's supposed to be stupid windy today, tomorrow, Sunday. So watch those eggs.
Yeah, I mean, it was last weekend. It was nasty cold. I mean, it blew in on us, and it's like, and the last 2 days it's just teasing us. It's just totally teasing us. And now you say the wind's supposed to be bad today and tomorrow.
And rain.
Is it supposed to rain
yes,
too?
Some rain, yeah.
We'll take the rain.
I need to be a weatherman or woman. You don't have, in my case, man. But you don't have to be right.
That's right.
You don't have to be right. You know, to say, hey, it's going to be a beautiful day. It's not. Sorry. I mean, you still keep your job.
We've always said that you can be wrong 50% of this time and still have your job.
Yeah, even 51%. It's irrelevant. I mean, think about that. You know, I mean, this weather keeps blowing in, blowing out. It's like, where is this coming from? But I thought it was supposed to be a nice weekend, so I guess I was wrong.
There's also a special birthday.
There's a special birthday today, and that is my dad's. He's turning 80-some, and I say 80-some. So happy birthday, Dad. Love you.
And so you've been busy. There's a lot of visits coming or have been here and coming. So I don't know. We're just going to probably just group them all together and try to get through that. It's been busy.
Oh, it has. And part of it, it's an election year. Let's be real. And part of it's an election. People coming down, seeing the border. It's a hot topic. We all know a national topic, and it should be. But yeah, we had some visitors from Wisconsin and that area up there by northern Illinois. We had a mayor and some chiefs and other folks come down and spent 2 days with us last Friday, Saturday. Had the opportunity to go to lunch and with them, spent a few hours with them. And they spent some time with my border op guys and to see our operation, see what's really going on, the reality of a border. And I've never even seen the border, let alone what's going on it. So had a good time with them and as they took that information back to their communities. And then we had Utah. We had a brand new U.S. Congress woman out of Utah. Had two sheriffs come with her and some other folks, and I commended her because here's somebody brand new in Congress tackling the issues, but wanted to see it, hear it, the experiences of the border and the reality of the border. So they flew in on Sunday morning, spent the day with us, and flew out Sunday afternoon. So I just can't say enough. And I told her, if you need anything, there's a question somebody asks you, and if we can help you answer it, we'll do our best. So those contacts are really important. So, again, that was out of Utah.
And then Georgia, you did a virtual with Georgia.
We just did a virtual with Georgia. And I actually went out there about 4 or 5 years ago in Augusta, Georgia, and spoke to several hundred people. This time we did it virtual, and that was, we spoke about the border and signed on to the PowerPoint through there. But again, sharing our stories, our updates, and not to be political with it, it's real. This is what we're dealing with. People need to hear that. I mean, the news, it's usually favored on both sides, depending on what news you watch and stuff, as we all know. But, I mean, go see, and I tell people all the time, go see your local sheriff and see where your sheriff stands on border. See your mayor and see others that represent you at the community level, because that's so important. Because we're driving community right now, and make sure they're all aligned with that. If they don't know about the border, send them down here or send them to the border and go see somebody.
And we have a group from Pennsylvania coming Tuesday.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's got some more, right? I think we got some sheriffs, aren't? Are they sheriffs?
That's right, they're sheriffs.
Yeah, so from Pennsylvania coming down here to see the border, and we spent a lot of time. I have that new border team, and they do a very, very good job of illustrating the reality of it and just spending time with them and taking them down to the border. And so when they leave here, one thing about it, whether they like what they saw, dislike what they saw, the reality, they left smarter than when they got here.
And another big issue coming across the border is fentanyl, and you had a meeting about that last week.
We did. We had a meeting with the Attorney General's office, the Deputy Secretary of Treasury, let's just put it like the IRS, came to Phoenix to address some of the things. And I'm very blunt at these meetings, professional but blunt, in the fact that they did a press conference. I got invited, the DPS Colonel, the Phoenix Police Chief, Chris Mays, our Attorney General, a bunch of us were up there. But what the deputy secretary out of D.C. said was, we're here in Arizona, and let me tell you why they're here in Arizona. 182 million fentanyl pills last year were seized in the country. 111 million were seized here in Arizona. We lead the nation. That's almost 52% of all the fentanyl is seized right out of Arizona. It goes back to the fact that we have a problem here. It goes back to America has a problem with it, as thousands of families are being disrupted every day, people dying every day. We have to do a better job. So when the deputy secretary got up and did a press conference and talked about the great things they're doing for Arizona, for state and local, I have a real issue with that. And I leaned over to the colonel from DPS, a good friend of mine, and said, Jeff, is this foreign to you? Just how I put it. And he's like, I've never heard about all this. And the other people I was talking to, the same thing. So during the roundtable, we had a roundtable about it, and there was a bunch of financial people there too, from the banks, Wells Fargo, and I don't know if Wells Fargo was there, but there's a bunch of them, Chase and all them. But I brought this up. You got up and did a feel-good press conference, but we know nothing on what you're talking about. So how do you tell people that you're doing all these great things and we don't know anything about it? And we're right in the front line of this, and so it's upsetting when you see that, because it puts an impression that we're out there tackling this. I'm not saying they're not doing some things, but we're not involved in it. The state's not involved in it, so what are you saying? So I had a talk with Chris Mays, our Attorney General. I talked to the governor's office. I speak to them on a regular basis, and our Sheriff's Association and police chiefs. But I made this comment, why are we not getting together on a regular basis, the state partners here, and coming up with operational plans at our level? We criticize the federal government for not doing that with us. So everybody agrees, from the governor's office, Attorney General. So we're going to start doing that here. Again, the better we can strategically talk about what we need to do, but also collectively send the message out, the better we're off. If the governor's office sends out a message, or Attorney Generals or the sheriffs, and we're not connecting with that message, there's a problem. So we're going to start doing that. So there was some good coming out of this meeting. I'm happy to see where it's going. Starting off with a meeting next Wednesday. I'm meeting with the governor and some sheriffs, and we're going to discuss this again about finalizing these meetings, these monthly meetings, because we're in a time right now where we need to really start putting our operations together and start talking more. We can no longer expect the media to share messages. I'm not saying this in a mean way, but we have to come out strategically and collectively, because at the end of the day, it's all about these communities and people like Cochise County that puts me in office and expects me to go out and protect them. So we need to do a better job too.
And we've seen a whole lot of smuggling. I mean, it's been consistent, but it has its ebbs and flows, and seems like it's flowing right now. Seems like we've got a lot of 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds continuously sharing information about a 15-year-old girl and her brother. So it's just a lot coming through here. So we appreciate everybody's patience, and, pull over when you see the lights coming. And the one that we posted most recently, there's somebody driving in South Sierra Vista on 92 and got up by Golden Acres, but 140 miles an hour, passing people at 125.
Oh, it is. And again, I can't say enough to the viewers and our motoring public here in Cochise County for being so patient and being vigilant to it, because we've all become accustomed for this new norm, sad to say that, new norm, these reckless drivers, and they're deadly drivers, and the fact that they're putting everybody at risk and driving at 100 miles an hour, and they continue to be abrasive with it, disrespectful with it. The one you're talking about there, 100 and some miles, like 140, I think it was, miles an hour. They had two chases going on at the same time period, and all around Sierra Vista, between Sierra Vista PD, the troopers, Border Patrol, Sheriff's Office. I mean, we're trying to interdict this car. A drone was in the air, but we got this guy. But when they finally took him down, hiding in a barn, but down by Golden Acres, he actually was laughing at us. 17-year-old kid's laughing. I mean, it's like, wow. I mean, they don't take this serious. Well, maybe he will when he sits his butt in prison. But we had another one where we had a car, rented car out of California, took the front plate off it, but involved in a pursuit. We had him on camera. The illegals bailing out of the vehicle. Came back in the county hours later. We got it that morning, blocked it in. 15-year-old girl at 3 in the morning down here with another 16-year-old girl and her 18-year-old brother. And the 18-year-old brother was the one driving. But I'm talking, and I get there to help with the apprehension early in the morning. So the 15-year-old girl is just running her mouth. And I was told later that she actually was telling our deputies that, well, you can't charge my brother because you don't have this criteria of the smuggling law. She knew the law better than most cops do it. And that tells you something. Instead of this kid being in school and learning and socializing and doing everything a 15-year-old does, no, she's down here. And then mom showed up and was yelling at the deputies, I want to file a complaint against the sheriff, and I want this and that. Wow. No offense, and I'm just going to be blunt on this. Why don't you be a mom and take care of your kids and protect her and get back instead of down here and committing international crime and smuggling? Because her brother didn't argue the fact what he was doing. And so it just amazes me that we're seeing this kind of attitude. And so let me give a shout out to all those that wear a badge in this community and our citizens for embracing that, because we're going to keep pushing that envelope, because you come down here and endanger this community, we're going to charge you.
And you're also going to visit El Paso.
Going to El Paso. Yeah, I'm going to go there next week. So I'm going to see the governor. Then I'll take off from there and head to El Paso. We'll have a meeting in El Paso next week. Southwest Border Sheriffs, our Border Patrol partners, and I commend them too. We're all coming together to talk about what we're doing here, to talk about what happens in Cochise County, maybe a little different, but they're dealing with the same issues over there. Out of the 31 border counties, we're all addressing the challenges of public safety, national security, and humanitarian. So, again, we're going to get down there. We are meeting as sheriffs. The sheriff associations continue to meet regularly to address these issues.
Tell me about the sheriff's associations, because you're a part of several of them. Tell me what they are and what they do.
There's 4 major associations. You got the National Sheriff Association, which is held out of Alexandria, Virginia. That's our headquarters. Then you have major county sheriffs. These are your urban sheriffs with a population of 500,000 or more. And then we have Southwest Border / Texas Coalition of Sheriffs. And then we have Western State Sheriffs. Western States is west of the Mississippi. Excluding the major county sheriffs, which I meet with them on a regular basis, I'm executive member on all the 3 of them. So I sit as chairman for National Sheriff's Border, vice president for Western State Sheriffs, plus chair of their border committee, and then a vice chair for Southwest Border. So, again, it's a lot, but if you're not at the table, you're not on the menu. I mean, very simply put. And so we want to make sure that our voice is being heard. We're very instrumental in it. And that's part of my commitment to the public here, is to be engaged at the law enforcement level, but also at the community level. So, again, we're trying to make solutions out there. We will, and we'll continue pushing those envelopes. Some people don't like our messaging, but if you don't believe in the rule of law, you probably won't like my message.
A couple meetings that you had this week too. Navigate 360 with the schools. That's a really important project of cooperative efforts between a lot of different people in Cochise County to keep kids and our citizens safe.
A $1.5 million grant that we obtained through the state. It's for school safety. We yielded that to Jackie Clay, our county school superintendent. She's amazing. And Cynthia, her staff, and all her staff over there worked with all the superintendents in the school. And this is a program to pretty much, it's a technological program, but it's an outlay of every school. It takes every computer in a patrol car and makes it a mini unified command post. So if we have an active shooter and we get there, we can see where the bad person is, the threat is, if you want to call it, and it better helps us neutralize that threat. And but we rolled that out. They're rolling into schools as we speak. I'm very excited about that. We had a big meeting yesterday with all the fire chiefs, the police chiefs, sheriff's office, and some others, and just talked about it. Again, working for the kiddos in this area, working for our educators to keep them safe, because we're not going to wait till it happens and figure out, okay, what can we do next time? No, we're trying to get ahead of that. You've already taught us something, and as you better be prepared. And we've been working on that since 2015, so this ain't new. We're enhancing our ability to keep our kids safe and our educators safe.
And another meeting that we had was for our support services. And I got to tell you, that's really a backbone. There's so many backbones of the organization, any organization, but support services really is. So we have quarterly meetings. We do updates. We find out how we can do things better. We invited the county attorney's misdemeanor unit, and they were pretty impressive as far as being able to sit down, get to know the people that you email 50 times a day, face to face. I think that we hopefully can hammer out some of the issues that came up on both sides. So we appreciate that. We had a 5-year award, kind of an impromptu ceremony there for Robin Jones, who's been here for 5 years, and I think that it turned out really well.
Well, you did a good job with it, Carol. You take credit for that, and you've been around a long time, even though you're 29. I get it, I'm 30.
Thank you.
And but seriously, when you bring your teams together, and that's a big expectation I have within our culture, is that the men and women in this office are the backbone of our success. They're the backbone of our reputation. And so I had the opportunity to come down, and thanks for the invite on that, and address your team, but also recognize Robin. And we do, the more we can recognize our employees, the more the purpose is there, and we value them. We do. We value them. So, again, very nice. And you had the whole place smelling good, all that food. You know what I'm saying? One of our, and I'm just going to give him a shout out, Leo Tobolski.
Yes.
Leo's a retired military guy, retired deputy. Now he works part-time for us doing backgrounds. But second to that is then he's on our Sheriff's Assist team. And so I walked in there today, and he's getting his food from your little luncheon you had. I said, Leo, free food? I should have figured you were standing here. And he goes, I'm always there for free food, Sheriff. And he goes, besides, if I'm not here, who's running this place? And he walked away. So you got to give him credit, man. So, Leo, thanks for being here, buddy.
Also a credit to you, Sheriff, because you create a culture in the Sheriff's Office that is appreciated by the employees as well.
Well, I put employees first. I truly do. Because if we don't have the right employees and they're not doing their job, we can't take care of the public. So that's an equation of a success. So thank you for saying that, Grady. And but thanks to my leadership team and all those. I mean, we're not a position-driven agency office. We're a people-driven office. Big difference.
Let's give a shout-out to J.D. Rottweiler.
J.D., my friend, I called him the other day, and if you haven't heard, J.D. Rottweiler, the president of Cochise College, iconic, but also he's the household face of Cochise College. And they, again, another awesome team over there with Crystal and Dr. Perry, all of them over there, and Wendy, just so many of them. And Amber, I'm going to give Amber a shout out. I give Amber a shout out, but JD announced last week that he is retiring as president, and I think it's March of 2025. I called him, and we've been talking, and then I called him, and he officially sent me the notice, and I said, it's like losing your dad. It's like losing your dad. Come on, JD. So I just want to say, JD, thank you for everything. We're going to be talking more to him. We got a little time on JD yet, but JD, thanks for what you've done. I mean, thanks for the partnership, thanks for the friendship, but also thanks for doing something in Cochise County that a lot of leaders can't do. And he built a legacy that will last a lifetime. So thank you, JD.
And on the sad note, one of our deputies, Marcus Giroux, had the unfortunate time to have his mom pass, and today is that funeral. So, we're thinking about him and his family and his mom, Dottie.
Yeah, so Marcus, we're thinking about you and all your family, like Carol's saying here too. And, and I will say this. I sent him an email the other day, and again, the services are this afternoon, but is the fact that our employees, our team members, I call them, their families are our extended family too, because they're there worrying as much as we are about our employees and our team members. So, Marcus, God bless you, man. God bless your whole family, and God bless your mom.
And we've got Cars for Kids coming up next week, so everybody get ready for that.
We got one meeting left as we finalize. We're ready to go. We could do it tomorrow, but one more week. It's always an exciting time, and thank it's not this weekend based on our Carol, our weather person here. It's not going to be a good weekend here, but yeah, I'm hoping it's nice. 'Cause usually the car show's hot, which I love it. It breaks in spring for us. But so next Saturday. And you can bring your car down the day of the show. I get a lot of people like to bring the cars out. I'm one of them, unless it's nice. But it should be a nice Saturday week from tomorrow as our Cars for Kids. You can register the day of the show. Again, a lot of cool auction items. I mean, nice time to come out and socialize. A couple thousand people coming through there. If you don't like people, well, that might be a distraction. I don't know. But bottom line is, it's just a great show. And this is all for the kids. We do, and our outreach programs through FOP, the Boys and Girls Club. Jay, I don't know if Jay's going to be on today or not, but again, it helps these kiddos and these programs and boys and girls. How do you go wrong?
And so one of the things that you have to round this show up then is your stop of the week and your safety message.
Yeah, stop of the week. And I've used this one before, but we see it more and more as times change and it's getting darker, getting earlier. I mean, but the other night, it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Once the sun goes down, per statute, per law, you have to turn your headlights on because it gets harder and harder to see you. And if you have an earth-tone vehicle, it's even harder. So I see this car come up on me, and I'm like, I look at me, didn't see nothing. All of a sudden, I look back, and there it was. No headlights on. I'm heading home about 6:45. And so the car goes around me like I'm irritating it, and but no lights on. So I stop it. Walk up, and young teenage driver, adult but teenager, and He goes, can I ask why you're stopping me? I said, yeah, you got to turn your headlights on. He goes, listen, I can see you. It's not whether you can see us. It's whether we can see you. That's a safety factor. Plus, it's the law of the land that you have to have your headlights on. So I want to remind everybody, from if the sun's not up or from day to night, you got to have your headlights on after hours. So if sun goes down, get those headlights on. Is my point on that, because we want to see you, and it prevents. And the more we can see each other, the safer we all are.
And for your safety message, let's do Easter and weather.
That's right. Sounds like you want to keep the straps on this weekend. It's going to be a windy one. And second of all, happy Easter, everybody. We all have blessings. And I mean, no matter how you look at it, no matter what your situation is, I can almost promise you somebody's in a worse situation than you are. Bless you all, man. Have a happy Easter.
And Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Michelle from Lori's Place.
First Watch on KWCD Country. It's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Michelle, for being here from Lori's Place.
Thank you guys for having me. Good morning.
So let's talk about Lori's Place first. We're going to talk about a golf tournament that's a fundraiser, but let's talk about what you're fundraising for. What is Lori's Place?
So Lori's Place is a local nonprofit organization that takes care of victims of violent crimes. We do the sexual assault nurse examinations if they're needed, forensic interviews of children 2 to 18 years old. We have our victim advocates that are basically with our victims from the minute they call all the way until they say that they don't need our services any longer. We also do address confidentiality, and we do orders of protection. We'll go to court to help file the paperwork, everything, and then we do counseling.
So you work with law enforcement, and law enforcement calls you a lot for specific needs, but individuals can also call you. Tell me how that works.
Absolutely. Anybody that has been a victim of any kind of violent crime, or anybody that's just had a lot happen and is really struggling with life and needs some help and doesn't know where to turn, can give us a call. Also, if somebody suspects child abuse or domestic violence, they can call and report it. They can report it anonymously if they would like to. So that's not a problem. We follow up on it and, just take the steps that are necessary to investigate everything.
And what is that 24-hour hotline?
That is 520-515-4444. That is our crisis line, and 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
And you're going to have a golf tournament coming up. Everybody's super excited, so let us know what that's all about.
So on May 3rd, we are having our second annual Lori's Place golf tournament at Mountain View Golf Course. All of the proceeds that are raised are going to help keep our doors open and help, so we can continue to help the community. We have a 7 o'clock check-in, 8 o'clock shotgun start. We've got post-round buffet. It's going to be a great time. We've got some really great sponsors this year. Lolly is going to be our hole-in-one sponsor again. We've got RDI Construction, CEMEX, KENG, Southwest Gas, just to name a few. We've got a long list of sponsors this year, and we're looking for some teams. We're running it as a scramble, so teams of 4. If you don't have 4 players, I can always fill the team. It's not a problem. And if somebody wants to play and they're not sure, if they can afford it or whatever, just give me a call. I want to get everybody that wants to play in this tournament playing.
And you can also donate swag for your swag bags and prizes.
Yes, we are in desperate need of swag items. So any businesses out there that have all those cool little things with your company logo on them, we are in need of those for the swag bags. And we also have a raffle with lunch and everything. So if you want to donate a raffle prize, we would love to have that donation. You can give me a call or email me at michelle@lori'splaceaz.org, and I can get you that information.
So let's talk about the sponsors a little bit. I know that you've mentioned a few of them, but that's what makes this happen is those sponsors.
Yes. If it were not for our sponsors, we would not be able to do this tournament. So we've got different levels of sponsorship, everything from our diamond level sponsorship all the way down to our swag bag sponsor, which is about $25. Our diamond level is about $2,000, and we've got everything in between. So if it weren't for those sponsors, there's no way that we'd be able to do what we do.
And so this is the second annual. How did the first one go, and how are we going to anticipate this one going?
The first one, we maxed out our players, so it went very, very well. Everybody had a great time. I do 2 golf tournaments a year for the organizations that I work for, and I expect this golf tournament to be just as great, if not better, than the last one. We've got some really cool prizes. We've got trophies for our winning and our losing team. And it's just, we have a great time out there. If somebody wants to sponsor the tournament, that's the other thing I want to bring up. If they want to sponsor the tournament, but they're not golfers, they can sponsor and donate the team that comes with that sponsorship, and I will fill it with first responders.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go over contact information, so everybody get your pen and paper ready. But let's talk about where to find information of this, how to contact you if they want to be a sponsor or a player, and then we're going to throw out the hotline number one more time as well.
Okay, so if you want to contact me directly, my phone number is 520-458-0488, or you can reach me at michelle@lauriesplaceaz.org. If you call the office, that's that number, 520-515-4444. You can go to our tournament website at www.birdease.com/Laurie's Place Golf 2024. We have it posted on our Facebook page. We've got it posted pretty much everywhere. And we've got flyers going up around town as well. So give me a call, give the office a call. We'll get you set up, and I would love to get as many. I want to max out again. We can take about 120 players this year, so I'd like to see that number get maxed again.
All right. Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today about the golf tournament, and thank you for what Laurie's Place does for our community.
Thank you guys, and Sheriff Daniels are one of our sponsors, and we really, really appreciate everything you do for us.
It's our pleasure. And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Melanie from the Sierra Vista Chamber, and she's going to talk to us about the name change.
First Watch on KWCD Country. It's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Melanie, for being here. And I would say Melanie from the Chamber, but we're going to talk about that. So thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you, Carol. Thank you, Grady. It's always fun to be here.
So there's a rebranding in process. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with the Chamber.
So we are very excited about this. As with any successful company, they grow. And we have grown as well. And we've been the Sierra Vista Area Chamber of Commerce for 64 years. We'll be 65 this year in July, at the end of July. But we've grown so much that a third of our members aren't even in Sierra Vista. And so it doesn't really make sense for a business in Tombstone or Wilcox to be a member of the Sierra Vista Chamber of Commerce. We are the largest chamber in southeastern Arizona. We support the other chambers, but we also support the communities that don't have a Chamber of Commerce. And so because of that, we've grown. And so with that, our board, we had a rebranding committee, and we've spent about a little over a year working on this. Our board voted unanimously for the name change and the logo change. And we are forever now going to be called the Sky Islands Regional Partnership. And there are reasons behind that. When you ask somebody what a Chamber of Commerce does, most people don't know. They think we're the visitor center or we're Google. And so we're a partnership, though. And we do partner with all the other chambers. We partner with the other cities, with the mayor, city council members, city managers. And we really work to support the businesses throughout southeastern Arizona and beyond. And so that is our new name. We understand that not everybody knows what a Sky Island is or where they are, but we like that because it generates curiosity for our area down here. And when people learn about the Sky Islands, they learn about how unique we are down here and how special it is.
That's a lot.
So what is a Sky Island?
It's to put it in layman's terms, a sky island. Our mountain ranges that we have down here are considered sky islands. Sky islands are found in Arizona, Mexico, and New Mexico, so they're very special to those areas. But a sky island is literally two separate ecosystems. So in the flatlands, we have different animals, fauna, flora, all of that on the flatlands, and then when you get to the peaks, you have a separate ecosystem, different flora, fauna, animals, all of that. And so they are considered islands. The mountains are islands sitting in a separate ecosystem, and so they're considered sky islands. And so isn't that interesting?
It is very interesting. Yeah, I love that. So let's talk about your gala that's coming up next month.
It is coming up. It is April 26th. We're very excited about it. We did create a foundation about 1.5 years ago, and so at our annual awards gala, we also have a live and silent auction with some really great items. So it's going to be a lot of fun, but it is our awards gala. And so we do have nominations open for chamber members. So we have large business of the year, small business of the year, emerging business of the year, Community Impact Award, and Excellence in Leadership. And so nominations are open right now. Do have to be a member of the chamber/partnership in order to nominate, but we need those nominations completed by April 12th. And that's on our website, which is skyislandsrp.com. If you go to svachamber.com, it'll redirect you to the new website anyway, but skyislandsrp.com. So please fill those out before April 12th. Also, we have early bird pricing to attend, and that ends on April 12th as well. You can still purchase tickets after that, but they'll be more expensive. So my recommendation is jump online, get those tickets as soon as possible, and complete those nomination forms.
And it's an election year, too. So you guys do all kinds of that. So in addition to the galas and the fundraising, you have community meet and greets with candidates. So what's happening so far?
So our business advocacy committee is we're planning a lot actually that's coming up. We do have on, let me see if I can remember the date, April 29th, we are hosting our first ever Running for Office 101. So this is for any candidates or potential candidates that might want to run for office locally, anywhere southeastern Arizona. It can be county supervisor, mayor, council person, whatever it may be. If they're interested in learning more about running for office, we have some great speakers. It's a 2-hour session. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we will have that. We'll be promoting that soon here. And so people can get signed up for that. And that way, if they're running for office and they've never run for office before, they can really learn a lot more about what it takes to be in that position, to get into that position. And so we're excited about that.
So how do they get a hold of you at the, I still want to say Sierra Vista Chamber of Commerce.
It's okay.
But yeah.
It's a transition.
Yeah. So how do they get a hold of you during your transition?
So they can give us a call at 520-458-6940. They can find information on our website at skyislandsrp.com. And they can stop by. Same address, 21 East Wilcox Drive, Sierra Vista, Arizona.
Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today, Melanie.
Right. Thank you.
And Carol, how do they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office?
So reach out if you need to call 520-432-9500 or take a look at our Facebook page, Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels. That'll take you to our Instagram and our Twitter. So go ahead, just drop us a line.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook and tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First Watch.